this. I really don't. I have not posted in 2 years. And I bet you as soon as I start posting again, then it's going to try to say that I have no storage. And I'm going to have to go through that again. Like I always promise, I'm going to start making YouTube videos again. And then I have a message pop up on my phone saying that I ran out of storage. Oh my god, I can't talk. Look at my cute little nose ring. It's a little cherries. I like it. It's really cute. Haven't showered yet. I'm bored. I'm waiting on a call for work. Mainly work from home until I get a call, and then I gotta get up, shower, get dressed. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's Saturday. There's a lot we gotta catch up on. I really gotta see what month I left off on. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was August of 2023. I think. I don't know. A lot has changed. I didn't know that when you pause the video and you close out of it to go to another app, then it just stops the video. Gosh darn it, man. But I looked. The last time I posted was December. I was doing Vlogmas. I always say I'm going to do, and then I never finish it. I've been seeing a lot of inspirational videos of my favorite content creators saying their story. There's 3 of them that popped up. I like Jezebel. I like Janine from Rainy and Neen. Oh my god. Lena, I swear I'm cleaning them. I just gotta brush them and clean them today. I haven't done that yet if you're watching this, which I know you probably are. Anyway, I watched Jezebel. I watched Janine, and then I watch Kendall. Kendall's not really a content creator though. Like she creates content like little short films on TikTok or whatever. And so basically those 3 girls, they literally made a video saying basically like not to give up on your dreams and to continue doing it. And I really do want to pursue content full time. I really do. And fun fact, actually really sad fact, I remember back in 2012 before YouTube had this whole content, Jesus Christ, I'm having a stroke. YouTube had like this whole copyright thing, but it was before then. And I used to make videos and edit them. My dad got this camera that he never used, and I would film off of that and make like little music videos or whatever. And that's where my passion came from, editing and stuff. Like I remember I would edit with Sony Vegas, and my dad got me and my sister these mini laptops, and we would do the damn thing. And before the music videos was when Build-A-Bearville was a thing, where when you would go to Build-A-Bear workshop, you would get a birth certificate for the bear, and you would go to Build-A-Bearville, and it was like a clean, censored version of Club Penguin. And that's also where I did music videos. And that just brought me back so much nostalgia. But alright, let's do a life update. Last time I talked to y'all was December of 2023. My baby's about to be 4. She's going to be 4 June 2nd. Cannot even fathom that. I definitely am not doing a birthday party for her this year. I'm probably not going to do birthday parties anymore. I did a first birthday party and I did a third birthday party. And don't get me wrong, people came, they showed out, whatever, the whole shebang. I was grateful for who came. But at the same time, I just got tired of the people that said that they were going to show up and they never showed up. And I know that it's not about that, but don't RSVP per party and make the host get a crap ton of food if you're not really going to show up. Like, get somebody else to do it. So I'm probably going to just take her to Peppa Pig Amusement Park. She's been obsessed with Peppa Pig lately. Don't know if I want to do that with her dad. I'm really not thinking about doing that. Or I might just take her to Disney World. I don't know yet. I'll ask her. My baby is so vocal now. I was like watching my previous YouTube videos and I was like, oh my God. Like she would say little words here and there back then, but now she is like my little girl, man. Like she says like her funny things, like she has her own little personality. I love this age. She drives me crazy having temper tantrums, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I really didn't want to start making YouTube videos again, but I really do want to try and pursue it and see how it goes. But I know that I can't make my mind up on it because it does get kind of discouraging whenever people don't want to support. And not only that, but I just hated the growing process, like how I would make videos all the time and like so much effort goes into editing all for your subscriber count to not increase. And I know I have the personality to be a content creator. I wouldn't necessarily say an influencer because I don't want to influence nothing. But I don't know. Hopefully one day I can look back on this video and be like, wow, I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for y'all. Like, I want to give the whole spiel on it. But yeah, let's do a life update, I guess. So the last video, December of 2023. So January 2nd, 2024 was when I started working for the hospital and started off in food service. I was a dietary ambassador. I would go to the patients' rooms and take their orders, and then I would go back down to the basement of the hospital where the kitchen was and get the food, bring it up to them, deliver it. And don't get me wrong, it was a super cake job. It was so easy. But I just knew that was the way to get my foot in the door at the hospital. That's like a fun fact. If you want to get into healthcare, don't be obligated to just start off RIP by being a nurse or a radiology tech. I would recommend going through housekeeping or soiled linen or trash linen, whatever, and get your foot in the door with that. And then they had like a career advancement program that you could do, and they would basically pay for you to go to school, and they do like a reimbursement program thing. And the career advancement program is basically where like you tell them where you want to shadow at. Like, let's just say for an example, if you want to be a surgical tech, you could literally like go and shadow a surgical tech to see if it's something that you really want. Blase. So I was there for 2 years. I ended up leaving food service and started security, and I am getting too ahead of myself because I blocked out a shit ton of stuff. So I started working at the hospital January of 2024, and March of 2024, February 28th to be precise, me and Nathaniel got into it pretty bad, and I ended up kicking him out because he called the police on me, and that was my final straw. He says that he called the police because he was worried about mine and his safety. But like, we got into a pretty heated argument, and I told him, when I get back from work, your shit better be packed and you better be going. And he didn't listen to me. So I told him I was going to throw his stuff outside. And that's when he went to go calm down Penelope, because I was not in the right mentality too. Like, I When I say right mentality, I'm talking about like babies and kids feed off your energy, bro. And I know I literally was like fuming. Like you could probably see smoke flying out my ears. And I didn't want her to see me like that. So I had him go calm her down. And all of a sudden I'm in the living room and I'm like manic, bro, at this point. I'm just like, I'm tired of this man. I'm tired. And it's like every single time we get in an argument, like my love decreased more and more. And I'm like in the living room, like pacing, and I just hear over Penelope's sound machine, yeah, Nathaniel, and said his last name. Jenna Alexandria said my last name. 3/16/1999, April 7th, 1999. I was like, this mofo called the cops on me, buddy. So I go in there and was like, you called the cops on me? And I start bawling. I'm like, bro, I'm going to jail tonight. Because when me and him got in an argument, I'm going to be so transparent with you guys. I'm giving all life updates. So I might as well tell y'all the whole shebang. So that way I can get it off my chest and just say it. I don't even give a crap about airing my dirty laundry out online. I don't care anymore. If my digital footprint wants to be a little muddy, let it be muddy, buddy. So when me and him got in an argument before Penelope started crying, I don't even remember what exactly we were fighting about, but I remember I was like pointing my finger at him and I was going like this. I was like, dude, and so as I'm going like this, he's coming closer to me, bro. So my finger brushed up on his chin. Bitch. I'm editing this and just reliving all of this really does mess with me, because till this day he'll try telling people that I put my hands on him, literally when all I did was do that brushing up on his chin and stuff. Like, he literally is the worst. Like, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing father, but partner, he needs to go to therapy or something, because his elevator don't reach the top floor when it comes down to being a good partner. Literally just brushed it up. Whatever. So he took that and ran with it. And that's like the only good thing about this night, was that he did not tell the police about it. Because even when the sheriff deputy came, like, he was saying that the head honcho of the sheriff department, I'm not going to say where we stay at, but just know the head honcho of the sheriff department doesn't play about domestic violence. And I already knew about that in the back burner of my mind, because my mom and dad, like when they got a divorce, my mom kind of got a restraining order against him. And yeah, Grady, I just said his freaking name. Screw it. My county's big anyway. Grady Judd does not play about domestic violence, okay? So I literally just brushed my finger up against his chin because he kept coming closer to me while I was pointing my finger. So he called the cops on me, whatever. He didn't tell them about that, thank God, because that's when he said that Grady does not play about domestic violence. You could literally poke somebody and go to jail for it. So I was like, oh, okay. So luckily, Nathaniel just called the cops as a scare tactic. And I was texting my friends the whole time. I texted my friend at the time named Teresa, and I was like, listen, like, I don't even know if this man's gonna put me in jail or not. I don't know what's gonna happen. Called my mom crying. She was like, just calm down, I'll be there in a couple minutes. So I was like, okay, bet. Tell me why when my mom pulled up, she had my grandparents in the car, bro. I was like, why would you bring my grandparents, of all people? Like, my nanny at this point had been going through cancer treatments. She's been like completely, I hate to say it, but the devil reincarnated. Like, nanny, if you're watching this, I love you, but those treatments would make anybody the devil reincarnated, if we're being so honest with each other. But my grandparents should not have been there. Like, that was a done deal. So my mom knew she was wrong for that, and just talking about it again and reliving this really pisses me off, because I'll get to that. So my mom talks to the police and tells them how I have bipolar disorder, basically making matters worse for me. And So after me and Nathaniel talked to the cop, we're done talking to the cop individually. And I have all the Ring camera footage in my phone, but I'm not going to post it because that's embarrassing. So the cop leaves or whatever, and then my grandparents and my mom come inside the house, and they're like, what are you guys going to do with Penelope? I was like, I'm staying with my daughter. Y'all are not going to take my daughter away from me. So they're like, all right, you want us to take Nathaniel out? It's like, yeah, take him out. So Nathaniel packs himself a bag. He goes and stays the night at my grandparents' house. I don't know how that night went, nor do I care. But calling the cops on me when we could have worked that shit out, that, like, I still to this day kind of resent him for it. And I do bring it up sometimes because it just genuinely drives me crazy that he still to this day doesn't understand the severity of it. Like, if the police literally felt, and this is from me having two parents that were in law enforcement, bro, if the police felt like Penelope was in an unsafe environment, they could have easily taken her away from us, and he didn't even realize that, and he still doesn't till this day. So after that, I was like, bro, like, I'm done. Like, that was my final straw. And so I told him whenever he got back home the next day, I was like, so what are we gonna do, bro? Because I don't want to be with you no more. He's like, you don't want to be with me no more? Like, literally, after I started working for the hospital, I felt like I was on top of the world because I was making my own money again. I was like, I could afford bills by myself. Like, I literally could freaking do overtime at work and be able to afford the bills and still save a little bit on the side. So I was like, whatever, like, get out my house. So he took his name off the lease, everything. This was March 5th, he moved out. He moved out and got a place with his sister. And not to mention, we were already separated but living in the same household. Like, back from, when was it? I don't remember what month because I legitimately blocked out everything. Like, I hate reliving this, but I just want to tell you guys everything. I really feel like I owe it to you guys, the little small 85 of my little community or whatever. And who knows, maybe this video will be the one that pops off. So anyway, a few months ago, back when we separated, y'all really want to know why we separated? Y'all really want to know? I'll tell you. So there was this guy that I had known since middle school. Hadn't talked to him in years because he got in a relationship with this girl and she made him delete all his social media. And I had not talked to him since freaking middle school. And keep in mind, I had never met this dude. Like, I literally met him off of Facebook, and we would always talk. Like, he was like big brother energy, but at the same time, I had like a small little crush on him or whatever because he was really cute and he still was to this day. But anyway, so I invited him over one day, not thinking that he would come because every other time that I would attempt to have him come over and hang out with me and Nathaniel, he would stand us up. So I was like, I'm done inviting you over. So one day he just had a wild hair butt, like, yo, I'm coming over. I was like, okay, bet. So he came over with me and Nathaniel. We had a movie night. We watched this Eggplant movie. It's funny. The Package, the Eggplant, whatever it's called. It's a Netflix movie with the eggplant as the cover. So we watched the movie, and the next day he came over again, and that was when Nathaniel was at work. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I cheated on Nathaniel. I cheated, yeah. I didn't sleep with the man, but I made out with him. And as soon as Nathaniel came home from work, he asked me why he came over again when he was at home. And I was like, oh, we just chilled, like, we didn't do nothing. And then he knew that my energy was off. Because one thing about Nathaniel, the little short time period that he was in school for psychology, he did learn a lot of stuff, like body language and everything. So he knew right off rip that I was lying. And he asked me if we kissed, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, and I told him, I said, I'm not gonna lie to you, we didn't make out, but we didn't have sex or anything. And he was like, oh, okay. So Nathaniel was willing to forgive me. Like, through all that, like, he was willing to forgive me, whereas me, on the other hand, I'm not a cheater. So I literally saw it as, like, I could not see Nathaniel the same anymore. Like, me and Nathaniel tried to rekindle things, and we tried to do what we could to better our marriage and restore it and stuff. Like, I started going to church. Like, I really lost myself because I was like, wow, bro, like, I've never been a cheater. And it haunted me. It genuinely haunted me. So, like I said, I couldn't look at Nathaniel the same anymore. So that's when we separated. And then that's when he called the cops on me. So I kicked him out. He removed his name off the lease. That was all in March. Fast forward to June, I developed an app that was called Daily Pay. And it was helping me with the bills that I did have. But Daily Pay is basically where you touch your check or whatever. And once you get in the habit of doing that, you get in this hole where, like, you always have to touch it. Like, it's inevitable. And so I started to fall behind in bills, and my grandparents were like, listen, like, I see that you're struggling and it's killing us, and I really want you and Penelope to move in with us temporarily until you get on your feet. So I was like, whatever, I'll be able to save. So I stayed with them until May of the following year. And when I tell y'all, as grateful as I was that they gave us a place to stay, it was probably the worst mistake I had ever made, because it was really bad on my mental health, because I stayed confined in a room. And if I wasn't confined in the room, I was picking up so many hours at work. Not to mention, I only moved in there for the sole purpose that my mom was there, and I was hoping that since my mom was there, we'd be able to rekindle our relationship and build the bond that we lost a few years ago. God, was I forsakenly wrong. But my mom, I moved in there June, she moved out in July, and she went right back with the mother freaker that caused her to get kicked out. And when she got kicked out, it's like, bro, like, I cannot live here. I need to find my own place. And that's when I received the check in the mail from the deposit that Nathaniel and I had put down. And I know it's gonna sound real bitter, but at the same time, you gotta understand where I'm coming from. But at the same time, I'm still probably gonna sound bitter, but I genuinely don't care. But since he took his name off the lease, that basically meant that the check was in my name. And yeah, it was his money that moved us into that place. But at the same time, Nathaniel and his sister were residing together, and I didn't have a place. So I pocketed the money, and I'm probably incriminating myself, but I do not care, because he should have never took his name off the lease. Like, don't get me wrong, if the check was in both of our names, I would have been delighted to send him half. But it wasn't in both of our names. It was just in just in my name. And my family kept telling me and hounding me about, Jenna, like, you could go to jail for this because you guys are still legally married and he's entitled to that money. And I'm like, bro, like, my family was always quick to take Nathaniel's side. See, that's what Nathaniel will never understand. His family hated me since day one. Whereas my family, we've been divorced for almost a year now. Like, our divorce was legal, like, freaking finalized on August 5th last year. And my family still shows this man love. Still till this day shows this man love. So he'll never understand what I'm feeling, as opposed to whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he'll never understand that, because my family showed him love since day one, and they still till this day do. And it drives me freaking insane. So finally, February of 2025, I started security at the hospital, and I met this guy. Oh my God, I'm already fast forwarding. I need to back up some. Let's go back to September of 2024. September of 2024, this guy I was with, he had been shooting his shot since middle school, bro. And I was like, freak it, let me just give this homeboy a chance. What do I have to lose? And let's just say it ended in 6 months. I got a restraining order against him. It actually turned sour real fast. It never was sour in front of my daughter, thank God. Like, he actually had the brain capacity to not cuss me out and treat me the way that he was treating me in front of my daughter. Thank you, Jesus. But 6 months too long. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was way out of his league. Like, I don't even care if that sounds cocky. Everybody was like, Jenna, what are you doing? Like, this man literally looks like a stud. Like, he has some big ass boobs. He has bigger boobs than you. I'm like, okay. But I ended up getting a restraining order against him because he threatened me, and he basically, I don't even want to get in detail with this, but just know it's pretty bad for me to get a restraining order. So I ended up breaking up with him in February. And February is when I started security. Broke up with him like 2 weeks into being in security. And then that's when literally the same day I broke up with him, me and him had went to the Strawberry Festival together. And after I broke up with him was when I went with my field training officer from work to the Strawberry Festival that same night. And we went to the Boyz II Men concert, and that's my now boyfriend. Probably the fastest I've gotten into another relationship after whatever. But yeah, so I met this guy in security. He was my field training officer, and he had been through a lot. I had been through a lot. There is a major age gap. We're like 27 years apart, whatever. My dad and his wife are 37 years apart. Age don't mean nothing but a number. Unless I'm 18 years old, then that's when it'd be a problem. But anyway, went to the Boyz II Men concert. I initiated first kiss, and yeah, so started dating him. He made it official on my birthday, April 7th, 2025. And he was like a breath of fresh air. Like, I was like, okay, it got me a grown man. Like, this guy's gonna be able to lay out his cards on the table, and I'm gonna lay out my cards on the table. And if we accept each other, we accept each other. But if we don't, we don't. Because I was like, bro, if you're that old and you don't know what you want in life, then get off me. Like, I don't even want you around my daughter. And so even though he had made it official, I didn't let him meet my daughter until like 2 weeks after he asked me to be his girlfriend. But it's crazy though, because even though it sounds fast, like, I can assure you guys that my daughter had never warmed up to somebody as fast as she warmed up to him. Like, it's insane. Mind you, that past January 2025 was when I lost my best friend, Kevin. He passed away January 1st, was on life support since mid-December. He had another stroke, and the first stroke, he was able to recover and be able to work out again. I would always get on his ass, like Wait on Rice, saying not to work himself too hard. But Kevin loved working out. Like, it was so therapeutic to him. He loved running. He loved everything. And then January 1st, he passed away. I thought he was still alive because his mom had been updating Facebook, and she ended up posting January 5th that he had passed away. And I'll never forget that moment where I just dropped to my knees, bro. I was with my ex that I got a restraining order against, and I had opened up Facebook, and it was me, my ex, and my daughter on the bed, and I'll never forget that moment. I don't even want to relive that, so I'm gonna move on to the next subject. So I started dating the guy that was training me, and he swept me off my feet. He really did. We ended up getting a place together in May. I know that's so fast. Because, like, after me and Nathaniel were together, and me and Nathaniel, like, we moved in with each other. I moved in with him and his family a month into me and him dating. I wasn't really trying to be a speed racer. But when I tell y'all, there were so many signs. Like, the signs were definitely there for me and my boyfriend now. And so I was like, I'd be a fool to, like, not embark on this new chapter. So, and plus his lease was up, and then I was getting tired of living with my grandparents. So I was like, bro, like, I need to get out before I go insane. Like, I love my grandparents to death, but I literally felt like I was in a mental asylum. And I was stripped from my freedom. Like, I would have rather gone to a freaking wilderness boot camp at that point. That's how bad it was. Anyway, moved in with him in May. Penelope turned 3 in June. And we're still living in this townhome till this day. We actually just renewed the lease. And then back in January, 2 months ago, was when, what was it? Back in January, 2 months ago, I decided to cut ties with the hospital because since Charles was my field training officer and he was like my supervisor, that meant that there was 2 other leads, and those 2 other leads were highly against me and him dating. Like, once we started dating, we really put the targets on our back, per se, and they literally stopped inviting him out to go smoke cigars. They started acting really petty because people that work security at the hospital were either prior law enforcement or prior military, and obviously in the military you can't date somebody that's above your rank, and they were against it, even though the other 2 leads were having sex with each other. But anyway, not my circus, not my monkeys, I don't even care. But yeah, so anyway, I decided to part ways with the hospital because the director was incompetent. That was a no-brainer. Anybody could have told you that. Like, if y'all only knew the amount of lawsuits that were in and out of that hospital because of this director, y'all would be freaking pooping bubble guts, bro. But yeah, like, he was incompetent, and there was this idiot that I'm probably gonna have to get a restraining order against eventually because I'll get onto that topic. Basically, this dude, he was down at what we call the safer room. It's a room in the ED where we watch Baker Acts, and he was on post, and I was bantering with one of the mental health screeners, and he decided to join in on the banter and was like, yo, Jonah, if you were in there, I'll let you get your ass handed to you. I was like, sounds like you need to be in there. Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't know if it's the bipolar talking or what, but I say stuff and then think back on it later. Like, I don't think before I speak. Like, now I do, because now I'm about to be 27 in 2 weeks, and I really gotta get on my high horse about thinking before I speak, because sometimes I do get belligerent and I can really say some stuff that can really hurt somebody's feelings. And I'm fully aware of that. But I feel like after being a doormat for so long, like now I'm able to have confidence within myself to be able to defend myself. Like I stand my ground on things now. Like I refuse to be talked to any type of way. So when he said that, I was just like, oh, sounds like you need to be in there. He took it as, oh, you were in there, because his ass was a Baker Act. Not to mention, I was already on my third and final write-up. My first two write-ups were from food service, and my third one was from a HIPAA violation, all because my ex that I got a restraining order against, his dad was a patient, and I had the police go in there because there was always one police on shift with us doing a detail. And I had the police go in there and tell his dad, like, listen, if your son comes, he's going to get a free ticket to jail because he needs to be medically seen before he can come up in this hospital, since he knows where I work at. And the judge told him, do not go to my place of employment or that place where I live at. But luckily, he doesn't know where I live at now. Anyway, so the dude said, oh, I'd let you get your ass beat in there. So I was like, sounds like you need to be in there. With him being a prior Baker Act, not once but twice, he he freaking ran to my boss's office and was crying. He even went up to my boyfriend and was like, your girlfriend, like, boy, how you gonna be a girl dad and you a punk? Like, I'm not saying that men shouldn't be crying, but at the same time, like, if y'all knew who this man was, like, I swear, bro, if I ever see this man out in public, I just want to do one little whop. Like, I just want to, but I'm bigger than that. I'm a bigger person than that. But anyway, so with that happening and with management having a stick up their ass about me and Charles dating each other, that was like the final straw. So they saw that they saw that on camera when I walked away from him, I flipped him off. And they tried saying it was against code of conduct and how they're going to have to let me go. So I was like, you know what? Like, it took everything in me not to flip that whole office around. I wish so badly I would have. Because they freaking knew the stuff that I was going through. They knew I was a single mom. They knew I was, like, they knew. And, like, this dude was not a credible source at all. Like, this dude would always be so quick to say his side of the story where he doesn't look bad. And they knew that this dude was highly incompetent. Like, he was not the smartest. Like, he was not the sharpest tool in the shed. His elevator did not reach the top floor. Like, it was literally obvious that he was going through a psychosis episode. And that's from a bipolar person saying that. I know the first sign and symptoms of a psychosis episode, and he fit the description to the T, like the full criteria, the full entirety of a psychosis episode. Like, he literally would tell people that he had guns and stuff, and he said that he had an AR in his trunk, but yet they still, whatever. But honestly, I don't even think it was the whole flipping me off thing. Because if that was the case, they would have been fired me. Because he got fired December 5th. He thinks he got fired because of me. But no, baby, you got fired because you failed your drug test. It had nothing to do with me. So he got fired December 5th. Fast forward to January 16th. I was at 208, the safe room I was telling y'all about. I had a journal that I had gotten for gift exchange. My very first journal entry, I talked about what happened. And I know I shouldn't have talked about it considering I was at work, but I journaled about it, okay? And I put my journal in a medicine bag. I vacuum sealed it, and the medicine bags were literally like the police evidence bags. Like, you gotta release the tape, fold it over. You can only open it up if you cut it. And there's this nosy girl, Anne, I'm not gonna say her last name because that's defamation of character. I don't know if she can still get me for slander for saying her first name, but yeah, and if you see this, your ass is grass next time I see you. Anyway, she cut it open, checked it for contraband. Mind you, she used to be on our shift when I first started security, but she switched to night shift because of this whole life situation. I wish I so badly I could say her information, but I'm not about to air her out like that. But just know, Ann, I swear, when I see you out in public, baby, you better run and hide. You better hope you got your gun on you, baby, because that's the only thing that's going to protect you. But anyway, she literally went through the journal, read it, told the leads, told my manager about it, told her manager about it, told the director about it, told the dude below the director about it, told everybody about it. Like, Ann was notorious for running her DICK sucker, okay? So so I eventually got my journal back, whatever. I don't even know who read it, whatever. So that's when they opened the case back up with this idiot that got fired a whole almost 2 months ago. And they tried saying that they're firing me because of me flipping him off. That was not the case at all. So I literally told HR about everything, and I tried to get my job back because I thought that it was wrongful termination. I even tried going to a lawyer. That didn't work. But I tried everything, and I didn't get my job back. And I honestly think that it was a blessing in disguise, because back a couple months back, I met this dude in the morgue, because at the hospital I was working at, security works in the morgue, and he gave me a business card, and I called them the day after and scheduled an interview, got the job, and I'm still working for the company till this day. I legally can't say what I do, nor do I want to, because I don't want my ops to watch this and be like, oh, I'm gonna get her fired at her new job, because I'm already dealing with that, bro. Like, literally, my old lead, she freaking already told my new boss about me, and luckily he's not the type that judge people off rip for what people tell him about people. But at the same time, like, she had no business doing that, bro. Like, I literally even heard through the grapevine that it's against the law to disclose why people were terminated. But my boss was a retired cop, so I already knew he was going to do the background check. But it just pisses me off because, like, it's almost like the lead, like, I feel like telling her straight to her face, like, girl, you were successful with getting me fired from the hospital. Now you're trying to get me fired from my new job. Like, I swear, like, people, and keep in mind, this woman is, like, damn near pushing 60. Like, girl, grow up. Like, stop being so miserable all the time. If you're miserable, find another job. Matter of fact, go back to the military since you like to fight so much. Oh, wait, you're too old for that shit now. Isn't the freaking cutoff age, like, 35? So, anyway, yeah. I'm pretty sure I caught you guys up to speed on my life update. Probably gonna end up deleting this video, but at the same time, I feel like I shouldn't, because you guys deserve a life update. Life's great now. I love my job. I love my coworkers. It's like a little family-owned business. There's only like, what, 2 or 3 workers that are not family related. And I feel like family-owned businesses are the way to go because they'll make you feel like family. And I'm just grateful for each and every one of them for being there for me and, like, teaching me the ropes and the tools that I need to be able to be successful at what I do. But yeah, that was my life update. I'm so exhausted. Let me take a picture of my thumbnail. Hopefully this first video will be the first video back, and I'll be able to make more videos. I don't know what I'm gonna make videos on. I know it's popping off on TikTok, But I don't know about popping off on YouTube. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, to be real. We'll see. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for the endless support. If you guys like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. I was very vulnerable with you guys today. And like, y'all are probably gonna be like, you cheating, trifling, conniving. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to church tomorrow. I did just get baptized back in February 1st to be precise. I don't know how to feel about it. Nobody really talks about the aftermath of getting baptized. I feel like I need to be dunked in the water again though, because I just feel like but yeah. I've been going through a lot of spiritual warfare, but I'm trying my best to do my best. Yeah, I only have you guys now because I don't have family. I had to cut off my family. Me and my mom just got into it the other day and she told me a few, so that was the void that I needed to fill. It sucks not having parents. I mean, my dad comes to visit us next month on the 15th, but I don't even have Facebook anymore to be able to message him. I'll probably have to message him on WhatsApp, but that's if I want to see him, because I really don't want to hear my dad's mouth right now. Because I already know he's going to get on me about my job. He's going to get on me about my mom, when him and my mom have literally been divorced for almost 8 years now. But yeah, I just don't know where life is going to take me. But hopefully it takes me anywhere except for in a freaking grave, because these thoughts are very real. I love my daughter to death, and she's my purpose and my reasoning for still being here. But God knows, deep down inside, I beg him to just take my life on the daily. Like, I don't have suicidal ideations, but at the same time, I just would rather not be in pain, suffering mentally, you know. I just wish that God would have taken me instead of my best friend Kevin. Kevin had so much more life to live, whereas me, I've had my passport for going on 3 years and only been in 2 countries, and I am going somewhere next month, so I might bring y'all with me on the cruise, if I'm being honest. But yeah, sorry if I'm talking too much. This video is almost 46 minutes long, but I love y'all. Ta-ta. Hopefully see you later.